So our course code is 18350, mechanical measurements and metrology, temperature measurements, right? Okay, so the previous class we discussed temperature measurements. First of all, what is meant by temperature? Temperature the difference between temperature and then heat, right? So the temperature is the internal energy of the body or object, right? So heat is nothing but it is a transfer of energy from one location to another location. We can say it's a heat. So and then the applications, why we need to measure the temperature. There are many applications we need to consider. For example, food processing. So in the food if it is long travel and travel export frozen foods. So we need to control the environment, but especially temperature. So food processing medical industries or even machining. So machining is related to mechanical. So lathe, drilling. So these are some of the examples for machining. So where during machining the temperature rises, it's very huge. So we need to avoid, we need to control this temperature. Otherwise, it will affect the tool as well as workpieces. So we need to maintain the temperatures. The next to the types of measurements. It may be the contact type or it may be the non-contact type. So the namely contact type is nothing but it touches the object where we are going to measure the temperature. So in the object the temperature measure contact touch panni measure we can say it's a contact measurements. Non-contact type so there is no contact between object and the instrument. There is no contact between object and the instrument. For example, the better example is measurement of our human body temperature. Right. So before pandemic, normally we use liquid in mercury thermometer. So liquid in glass thermometer. So we use mercury. So but nowadays due to the pandemic itself, we use some radiation. So non-contact type thermal measurements. Right. So the reason is pandemic as spreading. So so it may be the contact type or non-contact type. So contact type there are two types of in terms of solids, liquid as well as solids. Liquid expansion we say LIG, liquid in glass thermometer, where we have a bulb as well as we have a capillary tube. The bulb is filled with temperature sensitive liquid. It may be mercury or it may be alcohol. So mercury has some advantages, alcohol has some advantages. The main advantages of mercury does not stick to the glass. So glass does stick the expansion, it should be uniform. But one of the limitations mercury is poisonous, vapor of poisonous. Again, alcohol it is stick limitation stick advantage is cheap. So these are the comparisons of liquid in glass thermometer. So we have two types of liquid in glass thermometer, namely mercury medium. We can use mercury as a medium, or we can use alcohol as a medium. Right. So this is what contact type liquid expansion. The same way in contact type solid expansion. It is a bimetallic strip thermometer. Right. So again, bimetallic thermometer it's also can be used. It's also used for non-contact type. So bimetallic strip we have two metals. Bimetal. We have two metals. So both are has a different thermal expansion. So we bond those two materials with the help of mechanical fastening like riveting or other items. So if you give the temperature, the metal strip will bend. So the metal strip bend is connected to the pointer. That pointer shows the value. So metal deflection temperature measure we can say it's a bimetallic strip measurements. Right. So the third this is what contact type liquid as well as solids. So again we have another one type. It is a resistance temperature detector, RDT. So we know that whenever the loops are closed, then only electric current will pass. So if any substance or any foreign material present in that loop, it will create the resistance. So the temperature will increase. So we are going to use a different way, in inverse way. So if the temperature rises, means the resistance will changes. So the resistance voltage is calibrated as a temperature, RDT. Right. So these are the topics we discussed in previous classes. Right. So now we are going to see the remaining part of measurement of temperature. So the learning outcome, select suitable instrument for measuring the temperature. Again, we are going to see 3 topics as per today. One is thermocouple, thermistor, pyrometers. So there are 3 topics: thermocouples, thermistor, and pyrometers. Right, thermocouples. So this is the industrial representation of thermocouples. Right, so generally it is an electrical device. Thermocouple, it is an electrical device. It consists of 2 dissimilar electrical conductors forming electrical junction at different temperatures. Right, so it is an electrical device because it gives the voltage. So the voltage is calibrated at the temperature. So it is an electrical device consisting of 2 dissimilar electrical conductors, like brass and copper. Assume that brass and coppers. So the 2 dissimilar electrical conductors forming electrical junction at different temperatures. Right, so different temperatures. So different temperature means one is a hot body, another one is a cold body. So a thermocouple produces a temperature dependent voltage as a result of the thermoelectric effect, and this voltage can be interpreted to the measuring temperature. Right, so the thermocouple, it is generally temperature dependent voltage. So it will produce the voltage. So thermocouple will give the voltage based on the temperature. Right, so the principle is very simple. So if the temperature increases, then the voltage also increases. If the temperature increases, then the voltage also increases. That voltage is calibrated as a temperature. So voltage results in thermoelectric effect. It is calibrated as a temperature. So thermocouple produces a temperature voltage. As a result of thermoelectric effect, the voltage can be interpreted to measuring the temperature. So the thermocouple, it has a 2 electrical conductors. Right, so example it may be the brass and copper. So both are connected with a different hot temperature region. So voltage will create. So the voltage is create. So this is one of the industrial representations. There are 2 rods. So different temperature region the voltage difference will indicate here. So this voltage is converted as the temperature, calibrated as a temperature. Right, so principles of thermocouples. So the Seebeck effect. The first principle is Seebeck effect. In 1821, Thomas Johann Seebeck. So he said that when 2 dissimilar metals are joined together to form two junctions, such that one junction is a higher temperature and other junction is other is a cold junction, a net EMF is generated. So as per his Seebeck, he said there are 2 dissimilar metals are joined together and it will make a junction. The 2 dissimilar metals are make a junction. That one junction is a high temperature or hot body, another junction is a cold temperature. If you set this kind of arrangement, then it will induce the net EMF, electromagnetic force. It will induce the electromagnetic force. So as per his principle, voltage is directly proportional to the difference of temperatures. So difference of temperature means one is a hot body, another one is a cold body. So voltage is directly proportional to TH, hot body temperature minus cold body temperature. So the direct proportion is constructed as an equal constraint. So we introduce one constant called alpha. That alpha is nothing but our Seebeck coefficient. It is often referred to as thermoelectric power or thermopower. So as per Seebeck, the 2 dissimilar metals are joined and it will make a junction, and one is in hot temperature, another one is a cold junction. Then the EMF will generated. So EMF is directly proportional to the temperature differences. So EMF is nothing but our voltage. Right. So next principle is reverse Seebeck effect. So 1834, Jean Charles Atkinson Petlier. So he said when an electric current is passed through the thermocouple, heat is evolved at one junction and absorbed at other end. So he say in a different way. So previous Seebeck, he said ரெண்டு மெட்டல்ல வந்து நான் ஒன்னு ஹாட் ஒன்னு கோல்ட்ல வச்சா அப்படின்னா EMF ஜெனரேட் ஆகும்னு சொல்றாங்க. பட் ஹியர் he said எலக்ட்ரிக் கரண்ட் பாஸ் பண்றப்ப தெர்மோகப்பிள்ல பாஸ் பண்ணேன் அப்படின்னா ஒன்னு ஹாட் ஜங்ஷன் ஒன்னுல வந்து டெம்பரேச்சர் அப்சார்ப் ஆகும், ஒன்னுல வந்து டெம்பரேச்சர் எவாபரேட் ஆகும். This is what reverse Seebeck effect. So the absorption and evolution of heat depends on the direction of flow of current. This is also called as the Peltier effect. This is also called as the Peltier effect. Right, so it is a reverse of Seebeck effect. Seebeck effect, if ரெண்டு temperatures, ரெண்டு electric conductors வந்து நான் ரெண்டு டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ரீஜனில் வச்சேன் அப்படின்னா ரெண்டு டிஃப்ரெண்ட் டெம்பரேச்சர் ரீஜனில் வச்சேன் அப்படின்னா எனக்கு டெம்பரேச்சர் ஐ மீன் வோல்டேஜ் இன்டியூஸ் ஆகும். பட் இங்கே நான் ரெண்டு கண்டக்டர் மெட்டல் இருக்கு, நான் வோல்டேஜை கொடுத்தேன் அப்படின்னா ஒரு ஜங்ஷனில் வந்து அப்சார்ப் ஆகும், ஒரு ஜங்ஷனில் வந்து எவாபரேட் ஆகும். ஸோ அதை தான் இங்கே சொல்கிறோம். நெக்ஸ்ட் இஸ் தாம்சன் எஃபெக்ட். ஸோ 1852 Thomson, he said EMF at a junction undergoes additional change due to the existence of temperature gradient along either on both the metals. Right. So previous ரெண்டு கேஸ்மே வந்து EMF பற்றி பேசணும். ஸோ இங்கே தாம்சன் என்ன சொல்றாரு அப்படின்னா evolution and the absorption of heat when electric current passes through the circuit of single material that has a different length along its length. So ஒரு temperature radiation ஒரு coefficient thermal coefficient அப்படின்றது it's not a uniform, it's not a homogeneous for entire length. So for example, if I have a single metal, so I will pass on to the electric current. So single metal electric current pass பண்ணா temperature rise ஆகும். So we cannot say that the entire length குள்ள uniform temperature இருக்குமான்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. So அதுதான் வந்து Thomson effect. The reason is it is not uniform. So that this transfer of heat is superimposed on the common production of heat associated with the electrical current in conductors. So the overall CPAC effect பார்த்தோம்னா temperature difference leading to the potential difference. So temperature is directly proportional to the voltage. Peltier effect is the reverse of CPAC, which means potential difference leading to the temperature difference. So Thomson effect, he said non-uniformity in CPAC coefficient on a single metal. So ஒரு single material வந்து the coefficients, the CPAC coefficient non-uniform தான் இருக்கும் அப்படின்றது he identified. So based on that we need to use two metal. Single metal use பண்ண முடியாது. We need to use two electrical conducting materials. Right, so these are some of the principles which works on the thermocouple. So laws of thermocouple. So first law is law of homogeneous circuit. So homogeneous அப்படின்றது it is a uniform mixture. Homogeneous. Hetero அப்படின்றது it's a different nature. So homogeneous circuit. So thermoelectric current cannot be sustained in a circuit of a single homogeneous material. So or if I am using a single homogeneous material. So for example, if I am using a copper. So copper மட்டும் இருக்கிறேன், அதோட டெம்பரேச்சர் யூஸ் பண்ணேன் அப்படின்னா டெம்பரேச்சர் நான் எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் பண்ணேன் அப்படின்னா இட் கேனாட் விஸ்டாண்ட் தி டெம்பரேச்சர், கேனாட் சஸ்டைன் தி டெம்பரேச்சர். ஸோ அப்போ என்ன பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னா ஸோ ரிகார்ட்லெஸ் ஆஃப் தி வேரியேஷன் இன் த கிராஸ் செக்ஷன் அண்ட் பை த அப்ளிகேஷன் ஆஃப் ஹீட் அரவுண்ட். ஸோ தட்ஸ் வை வி யூஸ் டூ டிசிமிலர் மெட்டல்ஸ் ஆர் ரெக்வயர்ட் ஃபார் த ஃபார்மேஷன் ஆஃப் எனி தெர்மோகப்புள் சர்க்யூட்ஸ். ஸோ தெர்மோகப்புள் சர்க்யூட் அப்படின்றது மினிமம் ரெக்வயர்ட் இட் இஸ் அ டூ. த ரீசன் இஸ் இஃப் ஐ யூஸ் சிங்கிள் homogeneous metal, it cannot withstand, it cannot sustain the entire temperature differences. So this is applicable to our bimetal strip also, right? So அந்த bimetal, why we bimetal அப்படினா இந்த reason தான். So homogeneous circuits அப்படின்றது, so if the single metal cannot be used to measure the temperature, we need to use bimetals or two metals. So law of intermediate metals. So this is very simple principle. So for example, if I have a metal A, metal B, metal C, I have a three metals. So it will give the voltage, right? It will give the voltage. So if I am removing the metal B, so the metal A and metal C both are same. So if an intermediate metal is inserted in the thermocouple circuit at any point, the net EMF will not be affected. So irrespective of material, the net EMF will not be affected. So for example, metal A it may be the brass, metal B it may be the again silver, metal C it will be the brass. So bronze. Copper. So copper, brass, and then aluminium. So for example, silver, aluminium. So if you consider three metals. So if I am removing the aluminium remove பண்ணா if நான் இந்த ரெண்டு மேக் பண்ணாலுமே net EMF doesn't changes. This is the law of intermittent metals. The next one is the law of intermittent temperatures. Right. So okay, this is so previous cases EMF will not be differ based on the introduction of intermittent material. But here it will changes. For example, if the T1 and T2, we have a two temperature sources, T1 and T2, it will form EMF at E1. So it will pass on to the EMF, it will create the EMF is E1. The same way, T2 and T3 may give EMF as E2. Now I am going to use T1 and T3. Then the EMF will be the summation of E1 plus E2. So in metal does not affect EMF. But here in terms of temperature source, temperature it will affect, it will add. Right, so if the thermocouple cell generates an EMF E1 when two junctions are at temperatures T1 and T2, and E2 when two junctions are at temperature T2 and T3, then the thermocouple will generate the EMF on E1 plus E2 when its junction temperatures are maintained at T1 and T3. So right, so this is what intermittent temperatures. Alright, so thermocouple materials. So based on the material, we have many types. So one is T. So T type thermocouple, which means copper has a 40%, constant has a 60%. Generally, it is used for 200 to 350 degrees Celsius. It can be measured with a range of 200 to 350 degrees Celsius. The next type is J, iron and constant. Right, so it can be used for measure up to 150 to 750 degrees Celsius. The next type is E, chromal or constant. So 57% of copper, 43% of nickel. So it can be used for measure 200 to 1000 degrees Celsius. The same way, K type, it is a chromal, 90% of nickel, 10% of chromium or aluminum. So 94% of nickel, 2% of aluminum, 3% of manganese plus 1% of silicon. So this combination is used to measure the range up to 200 to 1300, 200,000 degrees up to. So some of the rare metals are available. One is platinum type, another one is platinum rhodium type. So platinum is S type. So platinum, rhodium, platinum 10%. So or platinum, iridium, the percentage, the composition will vary. 87% of platinum, 13% of rhodium. This is what both are used for up to 1005 degrees Celsius. We can measure the temperatures. So this is what a thermocouple material. Alright, so this is a thermocouple. So thermocouple abindrathu, we have a two electrically conductive material. Both are placed at two different temperature region. So this temperature region will give the voltage differences. Thermocouple. So the next topic is thermopiles. Right, so thermopiles, it is the extension of thermocouple. So thermocouple, we use only two metals. So here we are going to use multiple thermocouples. So the extension of thermocouples is known as a thermopile. So it comprises number of thermocouples connected in series, where in hot junction are arranged side by side or in star function. So for example, this is one of the thermopiles. So thermocouple அப்படிங்கிறது ஒன்று தான் இருக்கும். So multiple number of thermocouples seriously இல்லை ஒரு ஸ்டார்ல அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னா we can say it's a thermopiles. So if n identical thermocouples are combined to form a thermopile, then the total EMF will be n times of the output of the single thermocouple. So நான் இப்போ என்ன சொல்கிறேன் அப்படின்னா, I know that the entire length ஃபுல்லாகவே டெம்பரேச்சர் ரீஜன் வந்து சேமாக இருக்காது. ஸோ நான் என்ன பண்ணுறேன், the entire length ஃபுல்லாகவே I have a segregation, சின்ன segments of பிரிச்சுட்டு ஒவ்வொரு செக்மெண்ட்ஸும் I'm going to place thermocouple. So I'm going to place a series of thermocouples. So the net EMF பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா, again the temperature change ஆச்சுன்னா the summation of net EMF. So law of intermediate temperatures. So அந்த law படி பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா, so if I introduce a series of thermocouples, the net EMF will be the summation of all the EMFs. So n times of output as a single thermocouple. So thermopile which is made from the MEMS structure. So MEMS is nothing but micro electromechanical system. Micro electromechanical systems, which means it is fabricated at micro level, 10⁻⁶. So this image shows the thermopiles. So where we have a T1, T2, both are different temperature regions. The thermocouples are connected in series and it's connected to the voltmeter. So based on that we can measure. This is the industrial representation. So this is we have a substrate, silicon substrate. So the top of silicon substrate we have a layer, insulation layer with the hot junction, cold junction, photosensitive surface. So MEMS structure is generally made by the photolithography process. So photolithography process, it is like a machining which uses the photo sources or light sources. So with the help of light sources, it will do the machining. Alright, so this is the industrial representation of thermopiles. Alright, the next topic is thermistors. Again, it is a type of resistor whose resistance depends on the temperature more than the standard resistor. So thermistor generally used for electronic equipments, where it will fuse. Sometimes the temperature fuse or it will give some indications. So potentiometer of temperature plus resistor is nothing but thermistor. So thermistor is a type of resistor whose resistance dependent on temperature more than the standard resistors. So thermistors are widely used in inverse current limiters, temperature sensors, self-resetting overcurrent protectors, and self-regulating heating elements. So thermistors generally used for electronic equipments where the overheating may happen. So may overheating happen, it will fuse, it will save the other circuits. So generally resistance decreases when temperature increases. This is the principle of thermistors. So better example normal resistance. So if it is a hard or a solid piece, you cannot bend it because solid rigid. If you increase the temperature of the body and the object increase resistance is the same, it is applicable for here. So temperature coefficient is change in physical property with respect to the change in temperatures. So this is used in semiconductors to measure the temperature. So this is the industrial representation of some thermistors. Materials are ceramic semiconductors or germanium. With the high temperature coefficient, we can use germanium. So thermistors may have a different shapes, size and types. One is wafers. So wafers are similar to diaphragm or paper A4 sheet diaphragms. So it's like a plate wafers. It may be the plate. So A and B stands for, it may be the wafers. C to D E stands for rod. So thermistors may be in types of rod. It may be the rod type. Again F to Gs are it may be the beads. F to I, it's a beads. So again beads it's a bead thermistor. The next one is disc thermometer. From J to K it's a disc thermometer. So this is a rod, bead and then disc thermometer. So based on this size we have a types. Right. The next topic is pyrometers. Right. So as of now we saw temperature measurements on contact type. So contact type. Pyrometers is one of the non-contact types. Okay, so why we need non-contact type? The reason is very simple. So if you want to measure the temperature of casting material, so casting, we know that casting is the process where the molten metal is poured into the cavity. So the molten metal should be in high temperature. So we cannot measure via contact type. So we cannot insert liquid LIG in pouring molten metal. Another way, vulcanas and the flame, we cannot measure by contact type. So casting or other high temperature working environment. So those regions we cannot use contact type. So we are going to use non-contact type. So one of the non-contact type is pyrometers. So pyrometer is a type of remote sensing thermometer. It is used to measure the temperature of a surface. Right? So not a wire, not a internal energy. It is to measure the surface. Right? So pyrometer is a type of remote sensing thermometer used to measure the temperature of a surface. It is a non-contact type. Various forms of pyrometers have historically existed. So there are pyrometers in modern usage. It is a device that determines the temperature of the surface from a spectrum of thermal radiation it emits. So எப்படி மெஷர் பண்றோம் அப்படினா ஒரு ஆப்ஜெக்ட்டோட surface temperature மெஷர் பண்றோம். If the object is in hot temperature, it will emit the radiation. That radiation is measured and it is converted as a temperature with the help of pyrometer. So that is why this is also called as a radiometry, radiations. So it is a device that determines the temperature of the surface from a spectrum of thermal radiation it emits. So emit பண்ற thermal radiation ல இருந்து நம்ம surface temperature measure பண்றதா it's a pyrometer. So radiations வரனால we can say it's a radiometry. So this is the previous old radiometries, pyrometers. So 1852, this one is the first pyrometer. The second one is the modification of pyrometer. This is what we currently use. So in pandemic situation, currently we use this kind of temperature measurements. It's a non-contact type. So again, we are going to measure. If I use body temperature measure பண்றோம் அப்படினா நம்ம surface temperature measure பண்றோம். Right? So நம்ம internal measure பண்ணலாம். But liquid and gas measure பண்ணோம் அப்படினா நம்ம ஜெனரலா வாய்க்குள்ள வைப்போம், மவுத்ல வைப்போம். So அப்போ internal energy measure பண்றோம். But இங்க பாத்தீங்க அப்படினா surface தான் measure பண்றோம். So early 1780, Joseph Wedgwood, so he find one device called pyrometer. It is a high temperature measurement, temperature of surface. So we are going to measure the surface temperature. It is a non-contact type temperature measuring device. distance between the source of the temperature and instrument has no effect on the measurements. But in some region, so particular region வரைக்கும் distance between the instrument and the object, அது வந்து not affect on the measurement of temperatures. Right, so particular region வரைக்கும் more than அந்த region தாண்டி போச்சு அப்படின்னா variations இருக்கும். So we have some region. So distance between the source of the temperature and the instrument has no effect on the measurements. Okay, the principle is, it is very simple principle. Measuring energy radiated by a hot body or by color comparison. So we are going to measure the temperature in two ways. One is radiation emitted by the body or the color comparisons. Right, so we have two types of pyrometers. So one is works on radiation, another one is color comparison. Right, so as we know, we have three types of heat transfer: conduction, convection, and radiation. So again, all bodies absolute zero radiant energy and radiation does not retain any medium. So this is the main simple principle. So radiation, emission of electromagnetic waves from the all matter that has a temperature greater than the absolute zero. So absolute zero க்கு மேல இருக்கிற எந்த பாடி ஆகும், எந்த ஆப்ஜெக்ட் ஆகும், definitely it will emit radiation. But on the radiation we can't feel, so we can measure. So the temperature and the radiation measure பண்ணி we will convert that radiation as the temperature. Okay, so the principle is, the main law is Stephen Boltzmann law. It is stated that total energy E, total energy radiated by the block body is a function of its absolute temperature only, and it is proportional to the fourth power of that temperature. So very simple, E is directly proportional to absolute fourth power of absolute temperature. Fourth power of absolute temperature. So E is directly proportional to absolute temperature, fourth power of absolute temperature. So the directly proportional is considered as the equal constraint. So we introduce one constant called sigma. So this is nothing but our Stephen constant. So which is equal to 50 under 10 power 8 minus 8 W watt per Kelvin per meter square. And TA is the absolute temperature. So ஒரு ஆப்ஜெக்ட் absolute temperature க்கு மேல இருந்தால் கண்டிப்பா ரேடியேஷன் இருக்கும். அந்த ரேடியேஷன் எனர்ஜி எப்படி மெஷர் பண்றோம் அப்படின்னா by using this formula. So right, அந்த டெம்பரேச்சர் வச்சு மெஷர் பண்றோம். So energy measure பண்றோம். So we can easily measure Stephen Boltzmann constant theory. So we can measure the temperature. Right. So this is the principles of Stephen Boltzmann law. Right. So we have two types of pyrometers. One is the optical pyrometer. Another one is the total radiation pyrometers. Right. So there are two types of pyrometers: total radiation pyrometers and then optical pyrometers. So the total radiation pyrometers, the total radiation pyrometer receives all the radiation from the particular of the hot body. Right. So it receives all radiation emitted by the hot body. All the radiation means it includes visible and invisible radiations. Right. So total radiation, the name la irukku total radiation appadina, if the hot body emits radiations, so it will receive all the radiations emitted from the hot body. It may be visible or it may be invisible radiations. So this is an image of total radiation pyrometer working principles. So it consists of radiation receiving element and the measuring device. So radiation receiving element அப்படின்றது it's nothing but our diaphragm and then housing. Diaphragm and housing, and measuring device we use thermocouples or thermopile. So this is very simple construction. So or a tube, it's like a glass cylinder. It is made by some diaphragms. So diaphragms, and we have a mirror housing. So we have a mirror housing, and in order to view this, we have eyesight. So if the radiation emitted by the hot body is transferred to this instrument, it will focused. So radiation emit பண்ற எல்லா ரேடியேஷனுமே we have a mirror housing. So mirror இருக்கனால we are going to face that radiation. அந்த எல்லா ரேடியேஷனுமே நம்ம இந்த thermocouples நேரா focus பண்ணிரோம். So it will give the value. So thermocouple அப்படின்றது temperature difference கொடுக்கும். So based on the temperature difference we can calculate the temperature. So we can view by the side view. So இங்க இருந்து நம்ம view பண்ணலாம், eye view ல view பண்ணலாம். Right. So a mirror type radiation pyrometer is shown in the figure below. Here the diaphragm unit along with the mirror is used to focus the radiation on thermocouple. So emit பண்ற radiation நம்ம டைரக்டா ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணோம். எங்க பண்ணோம்னா thermopiles. அதுக்காக we use mirror housing, right, or glass housing. the distance from the mirror and the thermocouple is adjusted for proper focusing. So focus பண்றதுக்கு தேவையான மாதிரி we need to adjust the size. Right. So heat energy from the hot body is focused by an optical system onto the detector. So எது detector அப்படின்னா இந்த device தான் detector. So the detector குள்ள நம்ம total energy heat energy வந்து we pass on. So we have a glass housing. So அது என்ன பண்ணும் அப்படின்னா ரிசீவ் பண்ற எனர்ஜியை வந்து ஃபோக்கஸா ஒரே பாயிண்ட்ல சென்ட் பண்ணும். அது எந்த பாயிண்ட் அப்படின்னா thermocouple பாயிண்ட். So heat energy sensed by the thermocouple or thermopile. Advantage is it is a technically non-contact type. So it is non-contact type. It gives very quick responses. High temperature measurement can be accomplished. So we can measure high temperature. So but we have some limitations. The reason is even though we use glass housing, may be possible to leak. The radiation may be leaked to atmosphere. So it leads the temperature errors in temperature measurements. So errors in temperature measurement are possible due to the emission of radiation to the atmosphere. So this is again another one image of total radiation barometer. So where we have a furnace or hot body where we are going to measure the temperature, and we have a lens. The radiation is emitted by the hot body is transferred or it is focused to the mirror. So mirror வழியா பாஸ் பண்ணி நான் என்ன பண்றேன் again இங்க கீழ thermocouple ல பாஸ் பண்றேன். So in order to view this mirror ல view பண்றதுக்கு we have a eyesight here. Alright, so second இது வந்து என்னன்னா radiation emit பண்ணத வச்சு we are going to measure temperature. The second one is optical barometer. The principle is disappearing filament. Disappearing filament. So which means for example in our home you have a tube light or yellow bulb சொல்லுவோம். So if it is a glass light இருந்துச்சுன்னா if you switch on your power on பண்ணோம்னா என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா உங்களோட அந்த உள்ள இருக்கிற வைண்டிங்ஸ் பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா it may glow ஆகும். அந்த glow தான் வந்து we consider as our light sources. Right, so the glow ஏன் வருது அப்படின்னா கொடுக்குற வோல்டேஜ் வந்து அந்த மாதிரி கொண்டு வருது. So we are going to see the same working principle. The principle is disappearing filament. In order to measure the temperature, the brightness generated by the radiation of unknown source or a hot body whose temperature will be determined as a compared with the reference lamp. So unknown temperature என்ன பண்ண disappearing filament அப்படின்றது brightness generated by the radiation of unknown surface sources. So unknown sourceல இருந்து brightness generate ஆகும். அந்த ஜெனரேட்டையும் brightness-ஐயும் reference-ஐயும் கம்பேர் பண்ணி we are going to measure the temperature. Alright, so the brightness of the reference lamp can be adjusted so that its intensity is equal to the brightness of the hot body under consideration. So this is the optical pyrometer where we have an observer eyepiece and then we have a red filter. To view this red filter, we have a hot source here and the object is here, and we have a lamp. It is connected to the rheostat as well as battery or ammeter. So if you switch on your electric supply, the light will glow. If the hot source are placed here, so we are going to compare this hot source to a filament. If the filament look like this, so in the மாதிரி இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னா we can say current passing through the filament is low. So current வந்து ரொம்ப லோவா இருக்கு அப்படின்னா this is more hotter. If அந்த filament எனக்கு இந்த மாதிரி தெரியவே இல்லை, ரெண்டும் ஈக்குவல் ஆயிடுச்சு அப்படின்னா current பாஸ் பண்றதும் இந்த hot source temperature ஈக்குவல். ஸோ என்ன பண்றோம் அப்படின்னா எனக்கு ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஏ இந்த மாதிரி தெரிஞ்சு அப்படின்னா நம்ம லெஸ்ஸாக வருது எனக்கு தெரியும். அப்போ எனக்கு கரண்ட் எப்படி கண்டுபிடிக்கணும் அப்படின்னா ஐம் கோயிங் டு கிவ் more power to here lamp, more electric power. ஸோ எனக்கு இந்த மாதிரி கொண்டு வரும் இன் டர்ம்ஸ் ஆஃப் பி. ஸோ பி கொண்டு வந்துட்டு அப்படின்னா என்ன விச் மீன்ஸ் போத் ஆர் ஈக்குவல். நம்ம லேம்புக்கும் ஹாட் சோர்ஸ் ஜென்ரேட் பண்ணுற வோல்டேஜும் ஐ மீன் தட் ரேடியேஷன் யூனிஃபார்மாக இருக்கும். யூனிஃபார்ம் அப்படின்னா ஸோ அந்த வோல்டேஜை வந்து வி கன்சிடர்ஸ் அவர் டெம்பரேச்சர். The third one is if it is a passing through filament high. So ரொம்ப ஹையா இருந்துச்சுன்னா எனக்கு இந்த மாதிரி filament size வந்து தெரியும். Right, so this is optical barometer temperature measurement. So this is a brightness, it is a filament. If the filament is dark, right, then the cooler than the temperature source. So filament is dark அப்படின்னா நம்ம மெஷர் பண்ண டெம்பரேச்சர் வந்து ரொம்ப லோ நான் கொடுக்குற கரண்ட் சப்ளையோட. If filament is brighter, filament is brighter. If the filament is bright அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்னா நான் டெம்பரேச்சர் கொடுக்குறது வந்து ஹாட்டாக கொடுக்குறேன் அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். Right, so the filament is look like this. இந்த மாதிரி இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னா disappearing அப்படினாச்சு அப்படின்னா so I am giving the exact current value. So that exact current value is measured to our temperature. So filament is disappear, thus equal brightness between the filament and the temperature sources. Okay, so we have some advantages. It is a simple assembly, provides very high accuracy of 5 degrees Celsius. There is no need for any direct contact body contact with the optical pyrometer. There is no contact needed. Applications, it is used to measure liquid metal or high heated material. For example, steel industry or iron industry or copper industry. So both the metal industries are very worked in very high temperature region. So we can't measure by contact type. So we need to measure non-contact type. It is used to measure furnace temperature. So these are the one of the examples or one of the applications of optical pyrometers. Right. So today we are going to see three more topics. One is thermocouple, thermopile, thermistor, pyrometer. So thermocouple abindrathu again if you have two dissimilar metals placed at hot junction and cold junction, the temperature difference leads the voltage difference. That voltage is considered as the temperature. That is what thermocouple. Thermopiles is nothing but extension of thermocouple. Multiple number of thermocouples are placed in a series. Then we say it's a thermistor. Right. So final one is pyrometer. Pyrometer is a non-contact type. Generally, it is used for measurement of high temperature region. In pandemic situation, we can measure the body temperature also. So it may have a type called two type. One is a total radiation. Another one is an optical pyrometer. So total radiation is nothing but all the radiation emitted by the hot body is measured. All the radiation emitted by the hot body. And the second one is optical pyrometer. So where we have two lamp sources. One is a lamp, another one is the hot sources. If the lamp brighter, darker, the temperature is low. Higher brighter temperature is high. So this is what optical pyrometer. Thank you.